And I started my recording, and yeah, you're good to go. Thank you.
Okay, I hope that you can see me.
Yeah, I'm able to see you, and I'm able to see your screen, and able to hear you.
Okay, great. So let's start. Hello everyone, welcome on Microsoft 365 Saturday Bangalore in 2021. Uh, thank you out to our sponsors to Microsoft, Pentara Technologies, Soho Dragon, Quizcom, and JPower4. And now let's talk about approvals in Microsoft Teams. So this is our today's topic. My name is Marcin Siewnicki. I am Microsoft 365 consultant. I work in ISCG in Warsaw, in Poland. I work with Office. I've been working with SharePoint since, for 15, 16 years now. And I'm still doing this. But this time in SharePoint Online and Teams, mostly with Teams and stuff around modern workplace. I'm also a huge fan of automation. Power Automate and work automation, process automation. You can find me on Twitter or on LinkedIn, or you can check my blog on Modern Workplace site. So without further ado, let's go to our agenda. It's quite simple. First, introduction. So what is approval? Where you can find approval. Then we will go through approval application in Teams. I will show you how to install it and how to start working with the app. And the longest one, how to. So we will go through all main features, functions, and we'll try to create some approvals, modify approvals, accept, reject, and do some more. Okay, so let's start. Introduction. So what is approval? So there is some request of some person that create a request. Approval request can be a formal request, informal, on paper, digital, even without any even oral. So, and there is a the second actor in our process, approver. It can be one person, it can be a group of people, it doesn't matter. But this is the concept. So we have requester, we have approver, and most likely there are in basic stuff, in basic scenarios, there are two outcomes: positive outcome and negative one. So yes, no, accept, reject, approve, cancel, etc. In advanced scenarios, there can be more outcomes. For example, yes, no, I don't know, I need more information, etc. But basic concept, there's requester, approver, and two outcomes, one positive, one negative. And you can, well, find approvals in most workflows, most business processes. For example, document approval system, management acceptance processes, official signature, back office processes. I think this is the most common part of my work. Cost invoices approval, purchase orders, and in many informal processes, because approvals are everywhere. And what we can do, what we can use to work with approvals in Teams. Microsoft introduced approval application at the beginning of this year, in January, I think. So yeah, 11 months ago. It is a personal application, so everyone is able or should be able to install it. Of course, it depends on the IT policies, but by default, by design, it's available for everyone. And this application bring one central place for all approvals created in your Office 365 environment. So you can find in this application all your approvals created in this app, but also created in Power Automate. And what's more, this application is integrated with chats, personal chats, and channel chats. So there's more than the single application. And this is a screen from the app. So it's installed in left-hand menu. left-hand navigation, and you can find, well, it's quite simple, huge list with all your approvals, if you have many. Okay, so let's go to demo. So if you want to install the application, it's easy. You can go to, make it a little bigger. Go to apps in the left bottom corner and search for approvals, yeah. And this is the first one. Click and just open, install or open. I've installed that already, so I can open the application. And inside the application, in fact, there are only two. Navigation is very simple. Bottom navigation we've received and sent, so only two sections to work with. In the left-hand menu, we have approvals, Adobe Sign, and DocuSign. I will talk about that later, but the main point is approvals. And the main screen, huge section with list with all your approvals from your Office 365. So if someone sent you an approval, you will find this approval in this section. If you create an approval and you will send it to someone else, you can also find this in this section. Easy to navigate, but we will go through all features in the next step. So yeah, let's go to the main section, to the live demo. And during this section, so we'll go through all main features. I will show you how to create an approval, because it's important how to approve reject. And I will do this with internal users and with external users as well. Chat integration, so how to work with approvals directly from the chats. Documents, because we can attach documents and work with those documents. A few words about templates, very important thing, because we can create templates and create more formal approval processes. Electronic signatures, approvals in Teams. So the app is integrated or supports right now two external providers, Adobe and DocuSign. And last thing, Power Automate integration. So how to work with approval if you get this from Power Automate directly. Okay, so let's go to our demo. So in the app, there is one huge button in right top corner, new approval request. And if you click this, can get a very simple form. First thing, name. You must provide some name, for example, holidays 2021. Approvers. So in this basic scenario, I must provide someone who will approve my request for. I will use my test account, and that's it. Only two fields required. Then you can add some additional details. You can also add multiple people. If I type someone else here, I can provide more people, so a group of people that will get this request. If there's multiple people, I can select if I required a response from all or on the first one. I will stick with only one. And then attachment. I can upload from my computer. I can use OneDrive. I will use my PDF. Okay, PDF. I can use default responses, and this approval application use the basic approval scenario. So only two outcomes, only two actions: approve, reject, or yes, no, accept, cancel, etc. So only two actions. But I can customize text on those buttons, those actions. So I can provide, for example, yes, no, or I approve, I reject, etc. So we will stick with basic stuff. Next one, send to another approve environment. By default, all approvals are created in your main environment, main Office 365. But if you use some additional environments in your Power Platform, you can send to, for example, test environment, etc. There is one more button. It's quite new. Switch to new view. Microsoft provides some easier way to navigate in this form, but I will show you this one at the end. And that's it. Name, approvers, maybe some comments and document, and that's it. I can click send. And it's creating approval. It can take a while, but let's wait. Okay, and yeah, this the one is here in status requested, so it's sent. When it's created, sent by me, of course, and sent to John. As you can see, I have a lot of other approvals, and for example, in this one there are 5 people. In this one, 3, etc. So we can. So it's waiting for approval. So John must provide some, must make some actions. So let's switch to John account. This is my test account, John. Maybe a little smaller. I must refresh it. As you can see, this is requested 1 minute ago. So now how it works, I just click on the approval. I have all details in this window. I can check a document. If I click the document, it will open in a new browser. This is a PDF file, so it should open in my web browser. Yeah, that's it. And what? I can provide some comments. And I can approve or reject. That's it. Two actions. Or third one, I can reassign that. If I click reassign, I can send it to someone else. But let's say I approve the request. And it's approved. I have some. If I would click rejected, the status would be rejected, etc. As you can see, in this case, there is a status yes because I changed it to custom outcomes. But again, there are only two options: positive and. There's no further for options. It's not possible to create more options, more actions for users. So as you can see, it's very easy. Just create and set. What's more, in the activity feed, you will get the same approvals as a new activity and notification. So you can go and do the same. So approve, reject directly from activity feed window. And if someone approved my request, I can get information in activity feed as well. So yeah, approved. So John approved my request. So if I click this one, in fact, it shows in activity window, in activity feed, it shows all my approvals: requested, created, approved, rejected, etc. So it's in the same way, but in the activity feed, you can disable those notifications in settings, but by default, you can get a lot of notifications about approvals. Okay, let's go back. And there's one important thing. I attach a document. I can go back to this document, but I will switch to my John. No, to this one. I attach a document, this PDF file. I click the document, And as you can see, this document is stored in my personal storage. It means in my OneDrive. So every single document that you attach to an approval, and each document will be saved in your OneDrive. I can close this one. So as you can see, this is my OneDrive. So this is this one, document 20, 21, and it's uploaded in my OneDrive to the folder approval documents. So keep this in mind that if you create the second approval with document with the same name that you used previously, it will be stored in the same folder. It means it will ask you for rename or replace the document. And what is very important, each document that you send or attach to an approval is shared. If you click the share button, as you can see, it's quite small. So people in my organization can edit the document using this link. So this document is shared with edit permission. So the other people can edit the document, for example, Word. But if someone sends the link to this document to someone else, permissions are the same. So everyone can be able or is able to edit the document. You can, of course, go there and change this. Okay, but let's make a little test, a small test. I will create a new approval. What happens if I create an approval, maybe for approval for guest user? And I will type here my external, my corporate account. This is external for this demo, and I attach some document. Let's say 22. I hope it's, as you can see, I try to use the same document as before, so I have to replace that one. So you can create an approval for every single user in your company, in your organization, but you can also assign approvals for your guest users. That's interesting, and I can send, and it works. It will take a while. So now what's interesting, I go and quickly switch to my guest user account. It's switching. Okay, almost there. Oh, come on, be faster. Oh, come on. It should be there. This is my corporate account, but I'm logged as a guest user. Yeah, that's it. As you can see, I get approval as a guest user. I can go and approve and reject. So it works in the same way. But what? If I click the document, I will get access denied because this document is shared by default only to people in my organization. So guest can't access this document. I have to add or modify permissions manually. I can, let's say, approve. Okay, it works. But as you can see, I can see all approvals in this window. What happens if I click new request? Try to type something. No results. Yeah, it doesn't it doesn't work. So you can, as a guest user, you can get approvals, you can accept or reject, but you are not able to create new approvals. So it's this is the hard limit, and you can't do this. So works full options for internal users, for users in your organization, but for externals only accept or reject created approvals, and documents only if you manually share them to external users. By default, it's not possible. Okay, as I said before, this application is integrated with Teams. It shows in this window, but it's also integrated with chats. So if I go to my channel chat, for example, finance team, I add some members. I add my fellow John. That's it. So you can find in this conversation there is small icon, last one, for approvals. If I click this icon, I get the approval form in this in chat. So I can type chat approval, but I must provide a name, so it's not for all chat users. But the approval, okay. As you can see, the approval appears directly in channel's chat. And if I go back to my John account and switch to the team, where is that one? Finance team. Yeah, it's here, and I can approve or reject or view details directly from a channel's chat. So, for example, I reject that one. It's rejected. Other people, other chat members can't approve or reject. They can only view the information about this approval. So it's integrated in channels chat, but as well as integrated with personal chat. So it doesn't matter where you go, you can always use this approval application and create approval directly from the chat window. Okay. The next thing, very important, I think this is the biggest feature and the most important in this approval. It was introduced in April or in May, and the feature is templates. Because the main issue or problem or limitation with this basic approval is that you can assign approvers manually. So you can type here anyone you want. You can even assign approval to yourself. So, so it's not good tool for formal processes, because you can assign anyone yourself for your holiday approval request, and that's it. But using templates, you can create, or IT can create, or some business can create approval process with some predefined files, predefined form, and assign approvers by default. So you can't change approver, but by design it will go to your manager, to your department director, etc. So it's more it's really for formal approvals, for formal processes. So where you can find templates? First, in the top right corner, those three dots, ellipses, you have to click this one, and you can manage templates. To manage templates, you must have Teams admin rights to manage all entire templates, or you have to be owner of specific team, because templates can be created by Teams administrators, that's obvious, but also by Teams owners. You can create administrators can create templates for entire organization, for entire Office 365, for all users, but Teams owners can create templates for their own team. So for example, if I own a team for my marketing department, I can create templates for my for this team and for members of my team. And you can find all templates for your organization. You can also switch to teams. As you can see, I have a lot of teams, but I can create a new template. If you can't see this option to go to templates, it's because IT didn't configure the templates, so you have to go and ask them to do so. But if I want to create a template, there are some predefined from Microsoft. I will create that one from scratch. It's quite easy. And at this stage, I have all options because I'm the Teams admin, but we will work as a team-wide because I'm also a team owner, and I can select a team that I want to use. It was a finance one, yes. Done. And the entire process is very simple. I need some template name. I can use category, but that's not mandatory. And there is a form designer. It's based on Microsoft Forms. Very simple, only 3 fields type, a choice, text, and date. For example, let's say choice, 2 options. It can be required. I can also some date. Also required. Select date. And that's it. And the most important part, workflow settings. So you can redefine some fields from workflow for approval. So I can set to that I required a file attachment or not. And the most important, I can let requester to enter their own approvers, but I can specify approvers here. So if I go and type John, so by default, all approvals will be sent to John, and my users won't be able to change this. So I will stick with this one, click quickly preview. So as you can see, I add some additional fields, and John is grayed out, so it means that I can't change this field. Publish, and that's it. So now if I go to approvals, here, and try to create a new approval, there is a button at the top, templates. If I click this one, I can find all templates for my entire organization. But if I switch to my finance team, there is my purchase template. If I click this one, I must provide a name, let's say new mouse. But as you can see, I can't change, I'm not able to change approvers. It's not possible, so by default, it always be sent to John. I can select option 1, maybe select the date, yes, and that's it. So you can use templates to create more formal processes for your users. For example, for some purchasing in your department, in your team, for days off, holidays, etc., whatever you want. But using these templates, you can assign approvers by default, or one person, multiple people, etc. So it's up to you. But using this, you can do this easily. And if I send, it behave in the same way as approval created completely from scratch. So it's sent to John because I couldn't change that one. It works as expected. And if I click the new button again, there's this switch to new view. This is the option. It's a brand new option. I think that it's roll out to everyone, but I hope that if you switch to this new view, yeah, so it's new view, classic view, you get now at the first screen, you can select a template. So it's much easier than using this classic view because it's templates here. Now it's easier because you can quickly navigate to your team on one screen. So I have some org-wide team templates. I have some finance template. So this is the one I created, or I can stick with basic request and it looks the same. But the last option or the last feature is the electronic signatures, because this application, this approval application supports right now two external providers for electronic signatures, Adobe Sign and DocuSign. DocuSign is brand new. Adobe Sign is integrated up for 6 or 7 months. So you can use electronic signature from those two providers, and Microsoft will add some more probably in the next year, but let's stick to this two. I will show you how it works for example, for example, using the Adobe Sign, because I tested it. First thing, to use electronic signature, you must have licenses for the specific provider. This is mandatory. You can't use it for free. So you have, besides Teams, you must have some additional licenses. For example, for Adobe Sign, you can start a free trial in Adobe Sign. It's for 30 days. I created some trial accounts. Okay, and the form is almost the same. So some name, Adobe Sign approval from Teams. And additional details about the approval. I can add attachment in this case scenario. I have to add the attachment. I can choose from Adobe Sign storage or from my computer, and I must provide approvers. This time, this form used the Adobe Sign requirements. So I must provide someone from my second trial account. Okay. And because it's Adobe Sign requirements, I can add multiple. I can select that they must complete that in order or not. And that's it, sent. And now approval is created using Adobe Sign. So I have to switch I have to switch from approval section to Adobe Sign section in this left-hand navigation. So check, it's not visible here. No, it's sent. Yeah, as you can see, it's here. It's visible directly in the approval application inside. It's in progress. I can go click and check details. As you can see, it's pending response. Great. So let's switch to my John's account, because John has the second trial account. I can go here. I go to Adobe Sign again to receive sections, and again I have to sign in. This time I must provide a password. Good. And as you can see, it's visible, needs action, sent by John to me. If I click this one, but as you can see, there's no active project button. There's only a review, because it uses the Adobe Sign. So I'm asked to switch to Adobe Sign. It will redirect me to Adobe Sign page, and now I can make some actions directly from Adobe Sign website. So for example, click this one, and this is the click to sign. So use the interface from Adobe Sign or from DocuSign, and that's it. If I go to my Teams application is signed, it means it's updated from Adobe Sign. That's great. In the same way, if I go to my main account, it's signed. Like if I click, I get information this document is signed. But as you can see, it's the link redirects me to the Adobe Sign cloud because it's stored in Adobe Sign. Teams has only connection, is only connected with Adobe Sign and present me the approval request and allow me to create a new request as well. So you can use electronic signature if you have such requirements, but keep in mind that this feature required additional licenses from those external providers. But you can use these features, and you don't need to switch between other applications, only to sign. And the last thing that I want to show you is integration with Power Automate. Because this application, this approval app in Teams, shows all approvals that I create in the app itself. But what happens if someone create approval in Power Automate? So I will quickly go and create new approval, basic, very basic, without any. It's in. Unfortunately, it's in Polish. Okay, I messed with the languages in my browser. Okay, doesn't matter. I will quickly create. It's in Polish. I must. Oh, that's not good. So I don't remember if it's in Polish. Oh no. No. Okay. My fault. I think that this one should work. Yeah. So this is the standard approval. Come on, please load. Okay. And I assign this to myself, to this Marcin at the Modern Workplace site account. Title, let's say, approval from Power Automate. I save this one and okay, and run this one. So very simple flow, just start an approval without any actions. We don't have time for this. Okay, so it should send and assign to me approval directly from Power Automate. And here it is, as you can see, approval from Power Automate just appeared in the approval application. What does it mean? It means that you will get all approvals created from this application, from you, from other people in your organization, and created in Power Automate. So if you have existing process, existing flow with approvals, all approvals will go directly to this application. So you don't need to use emails, you don't need to switch to Power Automate website to approve or search for approvals. No, you get all this in this one application. For me, it's very great. Okay, let's go quickly back to slides because that was the last one, the last feature that I wanted to show you. Yeah, that was the demo. So quick summary: dedicated application, personal one, central place for all approvals from your Office 365 created in application or created from in Power Automate. You can start approval from chat. You can work or so accept or reject from chat as well. All approvals from a selected environment. So if you have test environment, you can send it to test or test it in the specific environment. This is the one-stage approval always. So accept, create approval, send to request to approver, accept, reject, and that's it. It's finished. Files are shared to entire organization by design with edit permissions. Keep this in mind. Guests, you can send to guest user approval, but guests can't create approval themselves. So that's the limitation here. One more thing, private channels are not supported, so you can't create approval from private channel chat, but I think it's not a big deal. And electronic signature requires additional licenses from these third-party providers. So that's obvious, but you have to provide some licenses, not only for you or the people who create requests, but for all approvers as well. And a few takeaways at the end. Dedicated admin teams, easy to use, easy to install. It should be available for all users because it's personal and it's from Microsoft. If you can't see it, you don't have it, so you have to go to your IT and ask for it. Approvals from the app and Power Automate again. Templates, great way to formalize basic approval processes and create some more formal processes. It's very important. And signatures right now, Adobe, DocuSign. There should be some more in the next year, I hope. And again, private channels not supported. And that's all from my side. Thank you very much, guys. If you want to catch me, you can use Twitter, LinkedIn, or check my blog site. And at the end, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for having me there. And don't forget to participate in the quiz, because you can get some nice and exciting prizes.